The next exercise is on finger dexterity. Most of these finger exercises are based on examples in Larry Guy's book, Hand and Finger Development for Clarinetists. Finger dexterity has to do with the control and flexibility that we have with our fingers. Robert Marcellus used to say we should always have a common curve in our fingers and not a different curve throughout the fingers or through different fingers. So that it should all be curved and basically in the shape of a C. So to form this, it's good to hold a tennis ball. So if you have a tennis ball in your house, you can go get it right now. Stop the video, get the tennis ball, and then you can come back and we'll do some little exercises with the tennis ball. So if you have your tennis ball and if you put your fingers on it like this, notice that your hand already curves. Now I'm not gripping it like this. I'm gripping it out here. So this is where, like, when I'm holding the clarinet, this is the part of my finger that actually covers the holes. So you want to use where your fingerprint is, the pads of your fingers. So we're not on the fingertips. And also notice I don't have my hand straight. It's just curved very naturally and comfortably. So an exercise that you can do with this is work on lifting and placing one finger at a time. So we want to lift from the knuckle, not the first joint or second joint. Sometimes I see people do this. So we're not going to do that. We're going to lift and place the same. So you can do that about 5 times on the first finger. You can go to the second finger, do the same thing about 5 times. Go to the third one. As you go to these, it's a little bit harder to do. And then you go to the last one. So notice you might want to do this because that's kind of a natural thing, or to do this. Pinkies always tend to get straight. So we have to be really conscious about how we're lifting and placing the pinky. So another exercise that we can do is without the tennis ball, when you just hold your hands in a C. So notice I'm not doing this. I'm not keeping them really oval. And I'm also not gripping or clawing like this. Just keep them curved. And what I'm going to do is basically the same exercise with each hand. So I'm going to keep the fingers that I'm not using curved. I'm going to lift and place my first finger. So when I'm doing this, I'm really just thinking about moving from the knuckles. Now I'm going to do this second finger, same way. And then the third finger. Then the fourth finger. So that's a little bit harder to reach, but if you do this several times, it's going to get easier every time. After you've moved individual fingers, then you can start moving 2 fingers at a time, starting with your first and second fingers. Then you can move to your second and third, doing this about 5 times, and then your third and fourth fingers. Next, you can move 3 fingers together, first, second, and third, and then the second, third, and fourth. Many times as clarinet players, our first knuckle caves in while we press down on the keys or on the tone holes. So to strengthen that first knuckle, you can press your fingertips onto a table and just be bending that first knuckle. This is just a strengthening exercise. The next finger strengthening exercise is called first joint springs. This is where you gently flick your finger against your thumb, and then you release it like a spring. Do this 3 times on each finger. The next exercise is lifting and dropping curved fingers. In this exercise, you want to lift and place your fingers from the knuckle. This helps to promote independent finger strength and dexterity. Notice also that I'm keeping a common curve through the fingers. The next exercise is finger stretches. With this, you want to keep your palms flat on the table and your fingers together and open and close your fingers slowly. This is an excellent exercise for bass clarinet players to build up strength in their hands. Our pinkies tend to get a workout when we're playing. This pinky exercise helps to strengthen those muscles so we can stretch to all the keys that our pinkies have to reach. Our palms are also involved with playing the clarinet. So we want to keep our palms open when we're playing. So to make one more aware of where our palms are, you can gently squeeze a tennis ball 6 times. And then repeat in the left hand. You can mimic the action with your other hand while you're squeezing in that one hand. So remember, we don't want to squeeze while we're playing. This is only to get awareness on where your palms are. Remember some of the concepts that we talked about. One was keeping the common curve in your finger and moving it from the knuckles, not the first or second joints. So we want to only move from those knuckles. Another one is as we press our fingers down, we don't want that first knuckle to cave in. We want to keep that curved and strong. So think about keeping the energy the same throughout your finger. To apply these concepts to our playing, I like to work on this Trill Drill number 1. Another good exercise for finger dexterity is to practice your arpeggios very slowly. I hope you've enjoyed this video and enjoy working on your finger dexterity. Bye.